In the Den with the TRU Wolfpack.
Well, since joining Canadian Inter-University Sport in 2005, there's just one Wolfpack team that has ever made the playoffs, with the chances of men's volleyball doing it for a sixth straight year slipped a little further out of reach this weekend. The Wolfpack were at home to the Brandon University Bobcats for 2 matches. After arriving in Kamloops at 3:30 in the morning on game day because of travel difficulties getting out of Winnipeg, Brandon went to 5 sets against the Wolfpack before prevailing by winning the deciding set 15-13. In the second match of the 2-game series, and after a good night's rest, the Bobcats prevailed in 4 sets to sweep the series. The Wolfpack were behind the 8 ball after struggling through the first 2 sets, dropping each by 15-25. They came back to win the third 25-23 before losing the 4th set the match in the weekend 25-21. The Wolfpack now face a big uphill battle to make the playoffs, falling to 3-13. With 4 games left, they're 3 games out of the final playoff spot in Canada West. A first-round playoff berth looks much better for the Wolfpack women after a sweep of Brandon, winning 3-0 and 3-1 at 6-10 on the season. TRU is 2 games out of the final playoff berth in Canada West, which is now held by Brandon at 8-8. The Wolfpack will close out the season with 4 matches against 2 teams that are below them in the standings. Next weekend against the University of Saskatchewan, which is winless in 14 this season. The Wolfpack will then close out the regular season against 3-11 Okanagan. The top 7 teams make the playoffs. The basketball teams were on the road. They played at Alberta and Saskatchewan, and the TRU women lost twice at 5-9 with 4 games left. They're 2 out of the final playoff berth in the Pacific Division and 3 out of the wild card. The Wolfpack will close out the season with 2 at Trinity Western next week, followed by a home-and-home against UBC Okanagan in 2 weeks. The Wolfpack men also lost both to the University of Alberta and Saskatchewan at 5-9. They're 4 games out of the final berth in the Pacific Division. However, the Wolfpack are tied with Brandon for the wild card, which will be the team with the next best record from either division. And the hockey team returned to league play for the first time since early December and had a split against Okanagan College, losing 4-3 at home and winning by the same score in Kelowna. With 8 wins, 4 losses, and 2 ties, the Wolfpack is in 3rd place in the BC Intercollegiate Hockey League.